You may be feeding your Shih Tzu the right type of food, but at the wrong rhythm. And with a small breed, like a Shih Tzu, the wrong rhythm can sometimes be more dangerous than the wrong type. I have cared for and trained Shih Tzus for more than 10 years. The common pattern I see in many digestive disorder cases is not the food brand. It is the feeding method. Shih Tzus are small, short-faced, with small stomachs and sensitive digestive systems. Their stomach capacity is not designed to handle one large feast and then fast for the rest of the day. When you feed only one meal, what happens? Stomach acid is still secreted according to the biological cycle. But if there is no food to neutralize it, the acid accumulates. In small dogs, this easily leads to reflux, mild nausea, frequent lip licking, or eating grass outside. Many people think that is a strange habit. No, it is a physiological reflex. Studies on digestive disorders and bloat from Purdue University College of Veterinary Medicine show that intense activity or an overly full stomach can increase the risk of gastric torsion in certain breeds. Shih Tzus are not a high-risk group like Great Danes, but that does not mean they are immune to digestive problems. So what is the solution? Instead of one large meal, divide it into two, even 3 small meals during the day. The same total amount of food, different timing. This helps stabilize stomach acid, reduce reflux, stabilize insulin, and limit overeating caused by prolonged hunger. Another mistake I see very often is leaving food out all day. It sounds kind, but Shih Tzus are not grazing animals. When food is always available, you completely lose control of portion intake. You do not know whether they eat less today because they are sick or simply bored. You do not know if they overeat when you are not watching. From a biological perspective, eating scattered throughout the day keeps insulin elevated for a prolonged period. The body struggles to switch into fat-burning mode. For a breed prone to weight gain like the Shih Tzu, this is the shortest path to silent weight gain. The principle I always apply is to place the food down for 15 minutes. If they do not eat, remove it. The next meal stays on schedule. A healthy dog will quickly adapt to a consistent feeding rhythm. Now, let us talk about eating speed. Many Shih Tzus eat as if someone is about to snatch their bowl away. They gulp without chewing. This leads to swallowing excess air, which can cause bloating, heartburn, and even vomiting after meals. The simple solution is a slow feeder, or scatter the food on a sniffing mat. When a Shih Tzu has to search for each piece, the brain is stimulated, eating speed decreases, and digestion improves. You improve digestive health and mental health at the same time. Another overlooked point is not feeding close to bedtime. If a Shih Tzu eats at 9 in the evening and lies down at 10, acid can easily reflux when they are horizontal. You may see frequent swallowing, lip licking, or waking up in the middle of the night pacing. The final meal should be at least 3 to 4 hours before sleep. During sleep, the body should focus on cellular recovery, not digestion. The right feeding rhythm is not just about the stomach. It is about the entire biological system. Your Shih Tzu does not need more. They need more consistency. If you notice frequent lip licking, grass eating, yellow foam vomiting in the morning, or eating too quickly, try adjusting the feeding rhythm before switching to a more expensive food brand. Sometimes, what needs to change is not the brand. It is the biological clock. If I had to choose one single factor that shortens a Shih Tzu's lifespan the fastest, I would not choose the food brand. I would choose incorrect portions. Shih Tzus are extremely prone to weight gain. They are small, rarely engage in high-intensity activity, and most live in apartments. Just an excess of 50 to 100 kilocalories per day sounds small. But for a body weighing 5 to 7 kilograms, that difference is significant. Many people tell me, I follow the instructions on the package exactly. Here is what matters. The package only provides an average estimate. But your Shih Tzu is not an average dog. It has its own activity level, its own metabolism, its own rhythm of life. According to data from the Association for Pet Obesity Prevention, More than half of pet dogs in the United States are overweight or obese, and most owners do not realize it. Why is obesity dangerous? Fat is not just a layer under the skin. Visceral fat wraps around the heart, liver, and intestines. It acts like an endocrine organ, releasing inflammatory cytokines. Chronic low-grade inflammation increases the risk of early arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, and weakened immunity. A long-term study from Cornell University College of Veterinary Medicine followed dogs for many years and showed that the group with controlled portions lived on average nearly 2 years longer than the group fed freely. 2 years in a lifespan of 12 to 15 years for a Shih Tzu is a very large number. Now the practical question: how do you know if your Shih Tzu is overweight? Do not look at the face. Do not look at the coat. Long hair can hide everything. Use your hands. You should be able to feel the ribs easily with light pressure, but they should not be visibly protruding. From above, the waist should curve inwards slightly. If the abdomen is round like a small ball, that is a signal. I usually guide owners to adjust portions based on 3 levels. Low activity, reduce 15 to 20% compared to the package recommendation. Moderate activity, follow the recommendation. Very active, increase slightly if needed. And most importantly, weigh your dog every month. Do not adjust drastically. Only increase or decrease the portion by 10%. Monitor for 3 to 4 weeks, then reassess. That is the scientific way, not an emotional one. Another mistake I see very often is adding just a little more at each meal. Just a tiny bit. But with a Shih Tzu, a tiny bit every day multiplied by 365 days becomes a real problem. Love is not adding more food. Love is discipline. If your Shih Tzu looks slightly chubby and cute, do not rush to feel proud. Ask yourself, is that fur or is that fat? I want you to try something today. After this video, place your hand on your dog's chest. Feel the ribs. If you have to press firmly to find them, we need to adjust. Lifespan is not lost in a single day. It is worn away meal by meal. If your Shih Tzu licks its paws until they turn red, scratches its ears constantly, or develops an ear infection every few weeks, I am almost certain the issue is not simply sensitive skin. Shih Tzus are a breed with a very high predisposition to allergies. Their skin structure, sebaceous glands, and immune system make inflammatory reactions stronger and more prolonged than in many other breeds. And here is something many people do not know. A large number of chronic dermatitis cases are actually related to food. According to data from North Carolina State University College of Veterinary Medicine, a significant percentage of prolonged skin inflammation cases in dogs have an underlying food allergy component. Common protein allergens include chicken, beef, dairy, and wheat. Ironically, those are the main ingredients in most commercial foods. The mechanism behind this is not complicated. When a protein is mistakenly recognized by the immune system as a threat, the body activates an inflammatory response. This reaction does not only cause itching, it creates ongoing background inflammation that affects the skin, ears, and even the digestive system. Why do symptoms not appear immediately? Food allergies often require 6 to 8 weeks of continuous exposure before clear symptoms develop. That makes it difficult for owners to connect the food with the symptoms. They change shampoos, they apply topical treatments, they use steroids, but the root cause remains. I always tell Shih Tzu owners, if your dog has recurring ear infections multiple times a year, think about the food before thinking about medication. The gold standard in veterinary medicine for identifying food allergies is an elimination diet. That means choosing a completely novel protein source for your dog, for example, duck or venison, combining it with a simple carbohydrate source such as sweet potato, maintaining the diet for 8 to 12 weeks, and allowing no snacks, no table scraps, and no exceptions. If the symptoms improve significantly, you have your answer. After that, you can reintroduce previous ingredients one by one to identify the exact culprit. This is a scientific method. It does not rely on guesswork. Another important point is distinguishing food allergies from environmental allergies. If your Shih Tzu itches seasonally and worsens during high pollen periods, it may be environmental. But if the itching persists year-round and ear infections recur consistently, the likelihood of food involvement is high. Do not accept the phrase, "This breed is just like that." No. Itching is not a personality trait. It is an immune response. Shih Tzus are famous for their long, soft, glossy coats. But beautiful fur does not come from conditioner. It comes from a stable immune system and an appropriate diet. If your dog is scratching more than usual, do not rush to change shampoos. Look at the food bowl. The skin and coat do not lie. They reflect exactly what you put into their body every day. I have witnessed many emergency cases caused by just one small piece of cake. Not because the owner was cruel, but because they did not know. Shih Tzus are a small breed, and in physiology, small means the same amount of toxin results in a much higher dose per kilogram of body weight compared to a large dog. One sugar-free candy containing xylitol might only make an adult uncomfortable. But for a 5-kilogram Shih Tzu, it can cause acute hypoglycemia within 30 minutes and liver failure within just a few hours. According to statistics from the ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center, there are hundreds of thousands of calls each year related to food poisoning in dogs, and most of them come from human food. Things you should never give a Shih Tzu include grapes and raisins, which can cause acute kidney failure, chocolate, which contains theobromine that disrupts the heart and nervous system, xylitol found in chewing gum, diet baked goods, and some types of peanut butter, and onions and garlic, which destroy red blood cells and cause silent anemia. The most dangerous factor is not a large quantity. It is a small amount repeated over time. For example, a little onion sauce mixed into leftovers once a week. There are no immediate symptoms, but gradually, red blood cells are damaged. By the time your Shih Tzu becomes tired and lethargic, you realize something is wrong. I always tell owners one simple rule. If you did not prepare that dish specifically for your dog, do not give it. There are no exceptions just because it is only one small bite. Now let us talk about water. Many people fill the water bowl in the morning and forget about it until the next day. Water in a bowl is not the same as water in a sealed bottle. It contains saliva, food particles, and bacteria that multiply. In a warm environment, bacteria can double in number within just a few dozen minutes. Shih Tzus are prone to urinary tract and kidney problems if they experience chronic mild dehydration. The average need is about 1 ounce of water per pound of body weight each day. A 6-kilogram dog needs a little over 300 milliliters of water per day, and even more in hot weather. Mild but prolonged dehydration can lead to concentrated urine, bladder crystals, urinary tract infections, and increased risk of stones. The solution is extremely simple. Wash the water bowl daily with soap. Change the water at least 2 times per day. Place an additional water bowl in another area of the house. Clean water does more than quench thirst. It determines kidney function, circulation, and detoxification. Your Shih Tzu does not know what is toxic and what is safe. They simply trust you. One small piece of leftover food may be 3 seconds of joy, but the cost can sometimes be years of health. Love is not sharing your food. Love is protecting that small body from what it cannot protect itself against.